I have a lot of requests from my viewers and subscribers if I could visit their place and I could visit their house or visit their relatives and video it, get a taxi towards Pier 1 where the barge is, then go to Cordoba. I'm gonna show you the effort that it takes to get there just granting this sort of requests. So finally, the barge has come off from Pier 3. The waiting was actually 30 minutes, which is shocking to me. Dong, asa man kung sa kay kanang Ajoya subdivision, Gabi? So I am now riding a tricycle. As you can see on the side is a tricycle going inside the subdivision of Ajoya. I don't mind doing this for my subscribers and viewers for special requests as long as you can cover up my expenses and cover up my time. I'm driving here on my way to my appointment at 2 o'clock to Ajoya subdivision in Cordoba, Cebu. I'm contemplating if I have to get it's now 12:15. I'm contemplating if I gotta go by barge or I'll drive there, because sometimes the barge is faster. It's nearer to Cordoba and I just commute from Cordoba, in which I think I will have to do. I'll just leave this car, I think, in Ayala. So sometimes I have to decide on those things because the actual transportation to Mactan is very, very long. So I think I'll have to go by a barge from Ayala, go to the pier, and then ride a barge and then have a public transport towards Cordoba. So this is the long way to Mango Avenue towards Ayala. This is the stop here. It's a very hot day again, and then going to Cordoba to film a house of my subscriber, Mr. Lou, and he don't mind his house to be videoed for my channel's viewers. And then this is one thing that I could do for you if you agree that I will be your eyes and ears here, that you agree that your house can be viewed by other people on my channel and your place. And then for paying my expenses to go there, I could video those places for you, especially that you can't come here as of the moment because of the pandemic. Now here we are waiting for the bus stop. I just want to park the vehicle properly, then I could go and get a taxi towards Pier 1 where the barge is, then go to Cordoba. So I'm here now in Pier 3 to go to the barge to going to Mactan, and I'll just have to get some, what's this, ticket for the barge. Get a barge. So I'm here now in Pier 3 terminal, passenger terminal. I'm going to Mactan by a barge. So we are here waiting for the barge to return. The fare to go to Mactan by a barge is 23 pesos per person. So this is the barge waiting area. Mactan.
Okay, no? Dari lang ma'am, mayroon ng dos, terminal fee. Nagaman sa atas pangalan.
Okay, excuse me.
Okay.
Okay. Yan sa ma'am.
Kami nga to. Oh, kami. Dua nga nagdagan. Ano lang ba? Doon sa asa.
Padulot sa ma'am. 2 pesos for terminal fee. Dara ma'am. Thank you. Then you have to write your name. So this is the fare from Metro Ferry from Cebu City to Mactan to Opon Market. So it's 23 pesos regular, and then you pay 2 pesos as port fee. So 25 pesos in all. The students will get 18, senior citizens 15, the same as children. So this is now the new fare to go to Opon, Mactan, Cebu. So this is the situation here in the Pier 3. As you can see, there's the sea cat on this side here. Sea cat is going to Bohol. And there's 2 barge that's crossing Mactan and Cebu, so that's what we're waiting for. It only takes like 20 minutes to go there. That's the max.
Kinasa minute mo ka ba? Tikong mo ka ba? Ano ba sa ito?
Dong, kana ready na asa din na padong.
Kaya rin kaysa lapu-lapu.
Lapu-lapu lagi pero lahi sa lagi sila diha. Natan ako no to. So these people on the other side of the terminal is just stranded people due to the lockdown or pandemic. So they are just waiting for their boats to go. If they are cleared with their requirements to go. So because when you go across the islands, your destination have requirements that you will have to supply and then get checked first before you are even allowed to board in. So more and more passengers now are coming in. So with this heat on the sun, some people would like to commute via barge from Cebu to Lapu-Lapu City or Opon because it's more pleasant to ride on there than enduring the heat and dust on a passenger jeepney. Although there are buses now, but it's different when you're just floating on the sea with all the breeze, and the sceneries are more pleasing. So that's the barge now coming from Opon that will take us back there. Passengers are disembarking now. So most passengers now are on board, but the barge is still waiting for more passenger to make it worthwhile to travel, I suppose. But there's none anymore. Oh, there's one coming. But at this time of the day, you should not be expecting a lot of passengers anyway. So there's not a lot really in here. So finally, the barge has come off from Pier 3. The waiting was actually 30 minutes, which is shocking to me that it takes that long. So this one, the Sea Cat one, is actually going to Tacloban in Leyte. And that's the other barge to go to Bohol. So this is now our trip from Cebu City to Mactan, Opon Mactan by sea. So that's the entirety of the ports here in Cebu. That is around Pier 3, then next is Pier 2, Pier 1. But since we're going to Mactan, so you'll be seeing Pier 4 and then the international port right on the end. So as of the moment, only few vessels are now crossing the islands because there are still quarantine requirements that passenger has to fulfill when they want to cross islands. Like in Bohol, you need a quarantine pass from the LGU where your destination is, aside from the requirements that you are tested here in Cebu. So a medical certificate is not enough. It has to be a proper COVID-19 test. So you can see Cebu City skyline. Up ahead, you can see the Radisson Blue. That will be near SM City, Cebu. There you go. So the waters right now are very calm, as you can see down here. It's not a lot of waves. Actually, it's summertime right now here in the Cebu, in the Philippines, entirely. But we have this scattered rain showers and thunderstorm in the afternoon. As you can see, looming in the skies are all those rain clouds. There you go, that's the container port where the containers are lifted up to ship on to the boats. So actually, I realize now that if you are actually rushing, the ferry boat is not the best way to travel, because if they are be waiting passengers before they leave, it will take up about another 30 minutes just waiting, or to an hour. And although the trip will be around 15 to 20 minutes, this should be taken as a leisure trip more than a business trip, because I think the land transportation will be faster. So during the normal times, these areas here are full up with boats, especially container boats. But you can see right now that it's so limited, and most of the boats are on standby only. Those container things there for that pick up the containers are busy all the time in the normal days. But right now, no exportations, so this is what you see. So you can see up ahead there, that's the second ferry boat that services the Mactan Cebu channel that brings passengers on and off for the metro ferry. So that's the second one. I tell you honestly, even though this is not good for business trips, but the travel in the barge is more relaxing. It's more, because it's breezy, it's more like feels like a leisure trip more than a business trip that you're rushing or something. But this is the alternative that you can take if you are not really keen on land transportation. This is another experience for you to take the barge from Cebu City Pier 3, and it will land in Opon Market. So you can see the structures of Mandani Bay rising up on that up ahead there. So you can tell by the other side here on the way through that we're almost there, because you can see the businesses that's around Mactan clearly. So up there you can see the Cebu Doctors University building right in front of it, near the seaside. That is supposed to be the Boardwalk Mall in Mandaue City. But there's some problems with it, that the building now, you know, that's between those both, the yellow roof one, right in front of the ocean. That's the one that's supposed to be called the Boardwalk Mall of Mandaue City, but unfortunately something happened to it that it's not pushing through. The building itself is just left to rot. And that's the Mandani Bay. Behind the Mandani Bay skyscraper is the Bai Hotel. And behind the Bai Hotel, up ahead there, that's the Toyoko Inn on top of J Center Cebu. So like I said, about 15 minutes is the barge ride, but the waiting is almost 40 minutes. Now you can see clearly the first bridge of Mactan Cebu connection. Now we can see Mactan Shipyard Corporation. That means we're just about 2 minutes away from the docking site of this barge. So we're passing to Daigo again, that big ship there. So the barge has turned off its high-powered motor. It's now just floating on towards the docking site. So I have arrived now in Opon side of the ferry boats. I'm here now in the Muelle Osmeña, which is the entrance when you arrive from the barge to Opon Market. So this is the surroundings that you can see. And it's a bit windy. So you go through this historic Muelle Osmeña, and then you're arriving up ahead. You can see the Opon Church. So they are still doing some road works here to improve the passageway, because that will be going in and this is the one going out for the passengers from Cebu. And you can see it's still dirt road. And that's the church of Opon, the Virgin of the Rule, Berhin Sarigla. Cordoba. That's the jeepney to Cordoba. I don't know if it's me. Masa akong isa? Dong, asa man ko sa kay kanang Ajoya subdivision, Gabi?
Oo.
Gabi na no.
Oo, Ajoya.
Unsay masakyan dito?
Kundi sa kay ganay ya, munaw ganito para kuan. Skina para gabi.
Mao ba? Ihunong ko dito sa kina para Gabi.
Ato ka lang ito ya.
Na. Dahil lang ko arang.
Apoy ginam dito kay hunong dito dai, uli hindi siguro eh.
Oh, ikaw? Ah, sige. Sa Ajoya man ko.
Sa gabi mga sa uwi gabi.
Oo.
Yeah, muli ko.
So, luckily that I have ride this jeepney that's going to actual Gabi area of the Ajoya subdivision, which is my destination for now. Duha din naka-Ajoya dia do? Murag Gabi raman siguro, no? So I was asking just to make sure that there's no other Ajoya subdivision there. All I know is in Gabi. So this is called the Pier Rodriguez Street, Lapu-Lapu City. So you can actually catch the jeepney towards Cordoba area. So we are still on Pier Rodriguez Street in Barangay Gunob, Lapu-Lapu City.
Ano, Day? Piligitan. Ano?
Sari-sari stores, bake shops, or any other food area is very common here in the Philippines, especially in the urban area, Lapu-Lapu United Church, because there are a lot of people that still buys from them because it is more expensive if you start buying from a mall or a supermarket. And so markets are still very much alive here in the Philippines than big supermarkets. Although there are products that you cannot buy in the markets, but the fresh ones, the wet market, the fresh fruits and vegetables, the fresh meat and fish can still be availed of cheaply in our markets here in the Philippines. And those sari-sari store are actually doing the retail because not a lot of people, like I said, will be able to afford shopping in a supermarket or grocery stores. And so they do by retail. That's why you can see shampoos here and a lot of other products are available in sachet. And that's what most of the sari-sari store are selling, are the retailing of items in small packets. Like if you just want to buy a sachet of coffee because your budget is now hanging, that's what we call this here, hanging, when it's almost wages time, then you're gonna be doing sachet buying. So those presents of those people selling different items, mostly food, sari-sari store, cafe, karinderya, barbecue, bake shop, is a common sight. Is a common sight here in the Philippines. And like that fruit stand, you notice they are also selling the watermelon by slices because not a lot of people can afford the whole watermelon. And one of the problem, which is really a big problem all around the city, mostly here in the Bisaya and even in other areas, is the lack of sidewalk. Look at all the roads that we're passing through. The sidewalk is not existent. If there is, it will be used by that resident near that sidewalk as an extension of their property. So the poor pedestrians are forced to face the traffic on the road. So that's why I said you need more eyes than a pineapple here in the Philippines if you're gonna do walking on the road. In which, in my videos, I was doing for you, but I'm also watching where I go. There's no sidewalk at all that you can see. So we we are still here in Lapu-Lapu. So there's the King Ramos supermarket. We are now in B. Rodriguez Street, Kinalumsan, Gunog, Lapu-Lapu City. As stated in that sign of Ray's Auto Electrical Shop. So it is really sad that our country don't have enough sidewalk for you as pedestrians to safely walk on the road. And if they do have the sidewalks, just a meter wide or smaller sometimes, you also have to watch for the potholes because you might just trip over, or like me when I was younger, just simply disappeared because you have fallen inside the manhole. So this is the little market here in Kinalumsan. So we are now in Barangay Babag. That's Babag Elementary School. Babag National High School is in this way. That's the passageway. The We Love Christ Church.
Okay. Ayan. Diba?
So you can see a lot of urban settlers around here. It's such an urbanized community. Although they have subdivision, because there are signs that say subdivision. So they are fixing the drainage in this area. We are now in Barangay Babag. So she was telling us that the cause of the traffic because there's a motorbike accident up ahead. So you can see why the passers-by are looking onto something. Because even the villagers are also looking through. Balhin ko na teriya. So it's a accident by a car and a motorcycle that causes the traffic there. Mas pabor radio speak kasi. Rin ako. I think I was saying it's more clear on this side, so I'll just transfer back. And that's what happened. The motorbike and a pickup truck smacked one another. Although the motorbike driver is okay, he's still moving, but so he said he feels okay. So this is the truck that smacked. This kind of accident, motorbike cars, motorbike against motorbike, is quite common around here. Even in the rural areas. Again, is sometimes cause of lack of discipline. So you can see Barangay Babag. We are still on Barangay Babag. Now the accident has caused all this traffic. We are passing to Mactan, Villa del Rio. Because it's become a standstill on this side. So this is now Babag 2. So we're crossing over now to Cordoba. This is the Babak Bridge. So we now have arrived here in Cordoba, Cebu. I now arrive here in the vicinity of Ajoya subdivision. A subscriber viewer has asked me to video their property here, their residential property, and so I will be sharing with you the videos. But this is what I said that I will be offering since this one, that if you want to have your house here in the Philippines, since you can't come here, or anyone, and you don't mind it and videos be shown on my channel, I will be happy to do that if you just cover my expenses to do it. So now I'm gonna have to get a tricycad, which is the bicycle riders, to go inside the subdivision to find their house. So I am now riding a tricycad. As you can see on the side is a tricycle going inside the subdivision of Ajoya.